Hello, it's Gabriel McBird here on the 23rd of February 2020. And I did a recording last night of at the Great Western Hotel in Exeter, which used to be Debbie's local, but now she lives in Exmouth. And quite recently they've opened the restaurant as a curry house. And when we got there, it was certainly the bar in the pub was pretty quiet, but the restaurant was absolutely bursting. I'm very glad we booked. So we looked at the menu before we went there, and our thoughts were, it looks pretty good, perhaps on the expensive side. Curries varying in price between sort of £9.90 and about £11.50, depending on what you had, plus an extra couple of quid, £2.50 or so for the rice. But actually, when we got there and got settled down, although it was busy, we ended up being served in reasonable time. And the bill, they bought the bill, that was particularly speedy. That was really good, because often you're left waiting around. Staff were quite knowledgeable about the menu. I would describe the curries as typical of British curry in style. Really nowadays curry houses have kind of fused Indian, they've taken Indian curries and made them kind of a bit more luxurious. So the bhunas and things are often really thick, and they were tasty, I would say. Plenty of meat in them. So for a starter, Debbie had aloo tikka chaat with chana or chickpeas, which is patties of potato, deep fried and served on a bed of chickpeas. She said that was very tasty. And my starter was the Amritsar fish, which is battered fish, cooked with spices and fried. Again, very tasty. Nice food, nice starters to get the thing off positively. Martin and Roy had no starters. For Maine, I had a chicken bhuna, which was, the curry was nice and thick. I asked for it Madras hot, and I would say it was that. Garlic rice with it, decent amount of garlic, all freshly cooked and decent enough quality. Roy had chicken tikka masala, which he said he liked, and Martin had I do believe that Martin had the lamb bhuna. He didn't really have much rice, and he just gave him a few spoonfuls of mine. He just had some of that. You always get loads of rice. And I'm trying to remember what Debbie had. I know she quite liked it. Oh, she went for the Indo-Chinese. There was an Indo-Chinese section. She had prawn noodles. Said they were very tasty. And so I think all of us were pretty satisfied. The only one slight criticism I would make, which I'm afraid would lose a restaurant a mark or so, is that they have a specials menu on the web page which isn't available yet. And I think if you're going to say something isn't available, or it's something, it should be made clear. Your internet menu should always be bang up to date. But I'd give it at least an 8, because the service was good, food was quite decent. I wouldn't say they had, because they didn't have the specials menu. They didn't really have anything amazing or unusual. It was pretty much standard kind of fare, other than the Indian stroke Chinese dishes, which added a little extra touch. And I would say if you're in if you're in Exeter in the area, it's as good as. Well, I mean, I've not been to Exeter for a while, but last time I was there, which admittedly is 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say it's as good as any curry you'll find in Exeter, really. So, if you're in the area, well worth a go. They also do a range of beers, a little bit on the pricey side, really, because even if you drink them in the bar, it's £4 a pint, and I think that's a bit much, especially for outside London. But you don't normally get the range of ale in a curry house, but because the Western is a place known for selling real ale, then you get the extra advantage of all those beers. I had one called QPA. I don't know who brewed it actually, but it was it's an IPA, about 4%, and quite hoppy, very tasty. So yeah, great, and enjoyed the evening, and would recommend that anyone gives this place a visit.